Yo! Welcome to Madden Simulation Championship Sunday edition. And for once, Madden actually got it right for the first time in a long time. In a thriller, Kansas City forcing overtime when it looked like the Buffalo Bills had not just went once but twice, something like that. In the end, Kansas City wins. You know what that means? They are hosting the AFC Championship Game once again. And this time, for the first time since 1988, they are taking on the Cincinnati Bangles. That's right. Oops, there we go. There we go. So yeah, divisional round of the playoffs had just wrapped up, and I'm going to give you not one, but both championship game predictions right here in two separate videos, obviously.
The scene just a few moments ago, predictably
and boy, oh boy, all four games came down to the nitty-gritty. Well, the final game was forced into overtime, and here we go. I'm going to talk about overtime rules once again in the NFL. How I don't know.
We got a couple of quarterbacks
but
here who can really sling it. Joe Burrow of the Bengals,
I will, mainly in this video, we are going to watch and see if the Cincinnati Bengals can stay. I want to say they are undefeated in the championship game, While the Kansas City Chiefs, this is their fourth straight, obviously. They've won 2 of their last 3, and they have a chance to go to their third straight Super Bowl, while Cincinnati's looking for the first time since '88. And oh my goodness, just think about it. This could be third time if Cincinnati, and on the flip side, yeah, that's right, on the flip side, in the NFC Championship game, we have the San Francisco 49ers versus the LA Rams. We could have a rematch in the Super Bowl. We could have Cincinnati versus San Fran. Can you imagine that? And be the first. Well, I'm leaning towards that a little bit, but I'm more of Rams Bungles. I'm gonna keep going with Bungles, but this divisional round was 10 times better than the wild card, super wild card weekend. And even though my team got F in the A, I will say what I want because I'm a homer for my team. I'll still represent them. It's just a little heartbroken, and I'm not going to soak too much on here, trying to stay a little neutral. But if you want to hear me complain about my team losing yet again at home with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, you should just tune into my podcast and you can hear me just let it all out, But it is what it is. We move on. We got Kansas City hosting Cincinnati. I mean, who saw this coming? We get one just after a thriller of a divisional round with Buffalo and Kansas City, and we get a rematch of Week 17, if I do remember correctly. These two teams met in Cincinnati. It came down to the nitty-gritty. Cincinnati pulls off the incredible and imperishable and beats the Chiefs, but they were the home team then. So this is gonna be fun. Championship Sunday is gonna be fun. I will say, after my team was eliminated, I was just didn't want to deal with football. But when I had most of the day to sit back, relax, and just cleanse everything, it's like, you know what? I'm not going to jump in right away. I'll let the first game, which was the Rams and Buccaneers, let that start. I'll tune in and like, oh, hey, the Rams, they're on the board first, and they start boom, boom, boom on the Buccaneers. But of course, Lady Luck had it. The Buccaneers start rolling back, it's like, oh boy. But it's going to be hard not to double top.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Next, the receivers have spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slash and run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see
we'll recap
as this one progresses.
The AFC divisional round. We will recap how these two teams got to the AFC Championship Game. And we'll just sit back, relax, and see how this game turns out.
Second and 2. A shotgun snap, and again to Edwards-Helaire.
So,
and no room that time, getting it to about
so
the
what?
46.
Kansas City gets the ball first.
There, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Not the kind of game that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of game that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He is going to find Hill here. And he will have the Chiefs first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And boy, yeah, that.
Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see.
Just got done watching the AFC divisional game between the Bills and the Chiefs, hopping in right here, right away. So if anything happens to these players between now and next week, well, I'm sorry, but Madden has been poor with updates and so forth. So
from midfield, here's Mahomes to the right side. It's Kelsey. They'll be taken down at the 48.
So just a warning, this game is being pre-recorded a week prior to Championship Sunday. So any big news, anything that happens between now and then, I'm sorry. It is what it is. I got a tight schedule this week, so trying to cram in 2 videos at once.
From the gun, it's Mahomes.
So right now, Madden overall is 9-12. So with 3 games left, Madden can finish the season 12-12.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
So yeah, I mean, just looking back at the divisional round on the AFC side, not really trying. I'm going to save the NFC side for the NFC Championship Game. I mean, much better, much more entertaining, much more enjoyable. If you're just a strict sports fan, if you had no dog in the fight, no pony in the race, whatever you want, analogy you want to use. It was much better. It came down to the nitty-gritty in all 4 games. The first game, and three of the 4 road teams won, and they all won on a last-second field goal. You started off in Tennessee. Tennessee, I do believe, every time Tennessee had the #1 seed in the playoffs, they were 1 and done.
Losing yardage back at the 35.
We'll try and look that up real quick.
Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Tennessee Titans.
Defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read.
And it's sad. I mean,
absolutely.
The Titans, made it to Super Bowl.
Nice play for lost yardage.
Was that the 2000 season? 99 season? Oh, I gotta think.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Open man, it's the tight end Kelsey.
Man, 96 was Super Bowl 31. 97 was, yeah. 97, 99, 1999 season. That was the first year the Titans became Tennessee Titans. Otherwise, they were Tennessee Oilers. And they had that incredible run. They knocked the Bills out of the playoffs. That's the last time the Bills made the playoffs since 2 years ago.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They had that incredible run. They had the Music City Miracle. In all honesty, I couldn't tell you who they beat the next 2 games. Who they beat to get the AFC Championship Game, but then they took on
the defensive coordinators love that.
The Rams
in
the Rams in the Super Bowl, where they just became a yard shy. But then they had an incredible team. They did have incredible teams with Fisher as coach, and just surprised how long Fisher stayed head coach for the Titans. It was just incredible. And there we go. Oh, I thought they were going to run board first, but here we go. List of Titans seasons. That's what I want.
How about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And he is going to go down.
So, going back to when they beat the Bills in the wildcard round, they beat the Colts. That was with Peyton Manning as quarterback, and then they beat Jacksonville. Then boom, next year, best team in the AFC, #1 seed. They lose to the Ravens. The Ravens eventually go on to win that Super Bowl, as we know, with that incredible defense.
Butker's kick here is good.
They missed the playoffs in 2001, 2002. Yet again, #1. They were #1 seed in the. They weren't #1 seed. They beat the Steelers in the divisional round, but then they lose to the Raiders in the AFC Championship Game. And then then they were #1 seed in 2008. They lose to the Ravens yet again. And then when they lost to the Raiders in 2008, then they just stunk till 8 years later, 2017. They make the playoffs. 2019 is when they got to the AFC Championship Game, where they lost to the Chiefs, and we don't know how the Chiefs did.
The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. Sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on.
And now they were #1 seed yet again.
And I love his ability to make a second
and they were one done.
Play and create downfield.
Tennessee just no luck. And that game, you can tell Tennessee did not have the offense. And Cincinnati's high power offense wasn't there either. Okay, I mean it was what? Was it 16 to 13 was the final? And Tannehill had 3 interceptions, and the last interception was what caused him. Game was tied. Tennessee had the ball. They were marching down the field. Bad pass. Not even bad pass, a tip from the receiver. Oh, can't see it. Settle for a field goal. Pass was there. Receiver tipped it, and Cincinnati intercepted it. Boom. They get in field goal range and kick it. So the Cincinnati Bengals, who hadn't won a playoff game in 31 years, have won back-to-back games. They're in the AFC Championship Game. And it's just wow. And Tennessee, they were my pick. They were my pick to represent the AFC. Obviously not to win it all. Okay, it was 16-16 and 19-16 was the final. You had 2 low-scoring games on Saturday. And then, like I said, just moments ago, as I'm recording, I should say, as I'm recording this moments ago.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
All you gotta do is watch the last 2 minutes of that game.
Now it's Burrow.
And I believe Buffalo. Oh my goodness, Mixon is off to the races. Is he down at the 7-6? So here's the thing, Buffalo just took the lead with 13 seconds left in that game. 36-33. Okay? There was no defense whatsoever for Buffalo or Kansas City in that last 2 minutes. Because Buffalo got the lead, and Kansas City took the lead, and Buffalo retook the lead. 13 seconds. Okay? And Buffalo kicks the ball. Kicks the ball through the end zone. So no, big mistake. Kansas has all 3 timeouts, 13 seconds. What we learned last week? Was my correct? We have 13 seconds, enough time to punt the ball.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line.
But apparently not enough. You know?
Another try for Mixon.
Oh, he fumbles and gets in numbers.
And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And a big turnover. He's going to get the football back.
Because if Buffalo would have kicked the ball short, time would have ran off the clock. You wouldn't have those 13 seconds. Kansas City would have to return it or take a knee. And I'm pretty sure at least 5 or 6 seconds would have came off that clock.
Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly. And that was because
so yeah, that's my big. Why didn't Buffalo kick that ball short?
They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes taking a deep shot here for Hardman.
Oh.
He's got him in, complete. And all the way down to the 35. A big play there for KC. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play.
So, I mean, it's always when you lose, it's ifs and buts for candy and nuts. But like I say, everyone else says, hey, one play does not define the game.
For a change in field position from inside the 10.
Okay.
First down on the other side of the field.
One play does not define the game. There's a lot of plays.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Oh man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right?
Oh yeah, that's another thing I said.
And your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. 2nd and 10.
So yeah, that's my first thing is why didn't Buffalo? Why didn't you kick the ball? Oh man, Mahomes is under pressure. Oh, now is the other thing. Okay, so first things first. Why didn't Buffalo kick the ball short? Take time off the clock, 3 timeouts. Kansas City would have to throw it deep or do a little trickery and so forth. They would not have time to get field goal range to tie. So, boom, shot yourself in the foot there, Buffalo. But that's why you almost went extinct. Anyway, then on the flip side, in the Tennessee Titan game, Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times. 9 times Joe Burrow was sacked. And he still walked away as a winner. And here's the thing, Tyrone Matthews I believe he was knocked out with a concussion. So who knows if he's going to be back in time for this game. You know, he might be playing this one right now, but who knows.
Guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front,
So,
they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this
I
league,
mean,
you know,
like I said, Tennessee-Cincinnati game, very sloppy in my mind. There was really little no offense. I think they both got one touchdown each, and then field goals the rest of the game. Derrick Henry returned, he got a rushing touchdown, but Tannehill threw 3 interceptions, and even though they had the ball late in marching down the field, Tannehill cost them the game to some extent. And I'm happy for Cincinnati. We talked about this last week. Cincinnati, we did Cincinnati. No, we didn't do Cincinnati. We did, Cincinnati. 5 straight years making the playoffs, 5 straight losses. With Marvin Lewis and Andy Dalton, AJ Green, that offense. I couldn't tell you a single player on that defense. But it is what it is. It is what it is, if you know what I mean. So, I mean, people in Cincinnati, they love Joe Burrow, they love Jamar Chase. I don't know any defensive stars on that team, but they love their team, and you know what, good for them. But here's the heartbreaking thing, as coming from a Packer fan. It's fine dandy to get hyped up when you haven't been there in a long time. Not saying Green Bay hasn't. But I got a buddy. There's a guy on the radio in Madison, sports talk I listen to every weekday. He's got a coin phrase, a nut kit continuum, where you're that damn good, and you are this close away from winning it all or moving onward. And
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here
you
for their
just get
second drive.
kicked in the nuts.
So close to hitting pay
And it's
dirt
like,
last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect
not
their
this year.
psyche this time around?
It's a tester.
I mean, I did enjoy some success when I saw my Milwaukee Bucks win the NBA championship for the first time in 50 years. But that's different when it comes to football. Football is one and done. Baseball, basketball, hockey, you have a whole series. You have the best of 4. Okay?
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete.
So,
and he'll be out right at the 35.
You can almost hear the siren.
well, let's talk about this real quick.
This has been a tough start for them thus far.
We had our
A
first
much-needed first down there.
overtime
They
game.
needed something
I
good
do
to happen.
believe. Yeah, none of the other
Plays
games
like
went to
that
overtime.
will continue to help them dig out
This
of this
past
hole.
yeah, one of my favorites. Well, super wild card weekend, none of those games went to overtime. This game, Buffalo, Kansas City, we won overtime, and they at least play it until there's a winner to some extent. There must be a winner. There are no ties. We have 15 minutes. If the 15 minutes expires, we do another 15 minutes, which we have seen several times. We have seen a couple double overtime games in the playoffs. We have never seen a triple overtime game, which, man, that'd be incredible to watch. But I do believe, in my opinion, NHL overtime playoffs, Stanley Cup playoff overtime is the most intense overtime in all of sports, in my mind. At least when it comes to the 4 major sports. Okay? Because they play a full 20-minute period. No one scores. I've watched several playoff games, Stanley Cup playoff games, where they went to triple, 4th overtime, a 5th overtime. I don't know if there's been a 6th one of that recently, or I've seen one going a 6th overtime, but those are intense. And the goalies, I gotta give up for more of those. And they're practically playing a second full game, and then 2 nights later they gotta be back out on the ice. And when that puck finally goes across the goal, ooh, it's a a thrill of victory, negative defeat. You know? So Cincinnati's on the march, 1st and goal. They bounce back after that fumble. But so in the NFL, like I said, you have a 15-minute period. They add the rule of if the team that gets the ball first on the opening possession kicks a field goal, the other team gets a chance to rebuttal. And it's kind of a pain in the butt. Like, okay, yeah, the other team gets to rebuttal, but if they score a touchdown, the other team doesn't get the chance to rebuttal either. Then. But if the first team scores a touchdown, it's over. And that's what we just saw. And there's Josh Allen sitting on the sideline with his helmet on. He's ready to go. He's ready to go. And of course, if he just would have what called heads, tails never fails. Well, they failed them this time. If he would have called heads, boom, they would have won the coin toss. And what is it? Gabe's? I'll have to look it up in a minute. No, we're second quarter ready. Buffalo wide receiver Gabe's set NFL playoff record 4 touchdowns. And it does and doesn't sound surprising.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Gabe Davis, is that the guy's name, I guess?
Mixon again, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon taking it in from 4 yards
Cincinnati
out.
gets on the board.
And the Bengals have got it back to a 1-score game.
Gabriel Davis, 4 touchdowns.
Got him down here, but closer to the
and he scored twice in the last 2 minutes. Here was 4th quarter. There was 28 points scored.
Going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
and 25 of those came in the last 2 minutes.
For the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7.
We're going to hear this debate all week long about NFL needs to change the rules. And the funny thing is, the NFL changed their overtime rules because of they claimed that there was too many teams not getting enough opportunities to win it, and it just came down the team that won the coin toss getting the field goal range and win on the last second field goal. Like, I'm fine with that because that's part of the game. That, why change it that the other team gets a chance if they're going to kick a field goal? But if you're going to change it where both teams get the opportunity to, if you're going to change the rules to where the one team, if they score a touchdown or a safety on the opening, how do I feel about the safety rule? I mean, a safety, technically you give up, it's a turnover, it's 2 points. I think I'm fine with a safety ending overtime and no one else gets the opportunity, because I mean, but if I still do think I would rather have more of the college overtime rules where, okay, how about this? We just start at the 50. You either start at the 50 or the 25, whatever. And there's no time except for play clock. And either you get touchdown or field goal. Then you flip it around, the other team gets the opportunity. And it's kind of like the shootout aspect, but I don't know. There's gotta be a better way to solve overtime. And I don't like tie games. I wish the NFL abolished tie games. And I don't feel like overtime in the playoffs should come down to a field goal kicking contest. It's regular season, I'm fine with that. Just like in the NHL, they have a shootout after a 5-minute overtime period. But playoffs, it's different. You need a winner, and you gotta go all at it.
If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So
but I'm going to keep asking, why didn't Buffalo kick that ball short?
Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50.
So, let's see. Let's take a look at this real quick. AFC Championship Games.
But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one.
It will be held in Kansas City for, I believe, the 4th year in a row.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Mahomes.
This will be Pittsburgh, or this will be Kansas City's 5th AFC Championship appearance, and all within the last 4 years, 793. They have a chance to have a winning record, win 3 in a row, to make the Super Bowl 3 years in a row be coming. Oh, they would join. I think they would only become the 3rd team to do so. No, 4th team to do so. I forget about Buffalo. You had Miami in the 70s. They went to Super Bowl 71. I think they went to Super Bowl 71, 72, and 73. Going 72 and 73, I'll double check that. I'll check that in a little bit. Then you had Buffalo, who went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost 4 times. You had New England, their last season went to 3 straight Super Bowls. They won, lost 1. They went to Super Bowl 51, 52, and 53. And now Kansas City has a chance to go to Super Bowl 54, 55, and 56. And
only needing 2 yards on 2nd down.
The AFC, it always seems like AFC is always represented by the same teams. The same team dominates the AFC in the last 20 years, it seems like. It was either New England, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis in the 90s, and Baltimore. Even you could throw Baltimore in there. Oakland was the odd one from the 2001 season to and then Denver a few times in there. But I mean, from 2000, we'll go from 2000. Yeah, 2000 season. We had Baltimore. They've been to Super Bowl twice in the last 21 years. Okay. Then you have New England. You know how many times? Oh, they're going for it on 4th down. Pitch, and he is going to be short.
He's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
I got the dang thing up. Why am I not then just looking at it?
And the Bengals will get the football back. So he needed the short yardage, Charles.
Cincinnati is 2-0. They are undefeated in championship games, but yet they just won their first ever road playoff game in Tennessee. And everyone thought, this Cincinnati could beat Tennessee. While everyone else thought the home team would win, and only one home team won this past weekend. It would have been amazing if all road teams won. But okay, like I was saying, since 2000, you had Baltimore twice. New England, half a dozen times.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
New England that says 11, but they were in they made the Super Bowl 9 times in the last 21 years.
I know coaches tell us all the time to have a powerful isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback.
Chiefs now have the opportunity. They were twice. Denver twice.
In this case,
Indianapolis twice. Pittsburgh 3 times. Baltimore twice, and Oakland once. So I mean,
throwing over the middle, and
I mean, you only have like half the league, half the conference has made it to this, has represent them in the Super Bowl. Okay, let's see. Oakland, New England, Baltimore, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, Denver. So seven teams? Is that what I'm counting? Is that all I'm counting? And actually, if you go a little bit further to Tennessee once, but then it's Denver and Pittsburgh until you get the Chargers in '95. So the last 25, 26 years, you only had 8 teams to represent the conference. While you go on the flip side, on the NFC side, it's usually a different team year in, year out. Okay? There was a stretch where you had a different NFL. Right. Starting in 2001 season, it was the Rams, then Buccaneers, then Carolina. I'm gonna go by cities now. Carolina, Philadelphia, Seattle, Chicago. That was then Arizona. No, it was the New York, Arizona, New Orleans, Green Bay. Then you had the Giants again. Oh no, we skipped the Giants. We skipped the Giants because Giants again for the first. You know. Did I miss the Giants first time I mentioned them? Yeah. I think I missed. It's Chicago, New York, Arizona. Yeah. So New York became the first team to represent the NFC. You had 10 different teams. Okay, 10 different teams in 10 years, the NFC. And it's going to be easier to name the teams that didn't go to the Super Bowl in the last 21 years. Okay? And if you go back to Super Bowl 30, because that's Pittsburgh, Dallas. Okay. The NFC. Oh, it says in the last 26 years, not 36, 26 years. 26 years, the NFC. The only teams that have not reached the Super Bowl. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes hit. He lost the football. That are Washington, Detroit, and Minnesota.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there?
I think the other 13 teams in the NFC have made it to the Super Bowl in the last 26 years. So basically, every team, those 30, because they come up on second and long. NFC West all have been there. The Seahawks, the Rams, the 49ers, even the Cardinals won. NFC South, you had the Saints, the Falcons, the Buccaneers, the Panthers. The Saints are the only ones that haven't gone there twice. Everyone else has in that time span. NFC East, if we go back to Super Bowl 30, 1995. The Cowboys, the Giants, the Eagles. Washington has not. And then Green Bay and Chicago. Green Bay 3 times, Chicago once. That's insane. How much turnover there is in the NFC compared to the AFC. So what is that saying?
You've always been very good about checking my math.
But like I was looking at before, so yeah, Buffalo went 4 times in a row.
coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment.
Miami went to 3 straight, 71, 72, 73, and they lost in 1971 to Dallas. But then they had the perfect season in 72, and then I think they beat. They must have beaten Minnesota in 73.
And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field.
That would sound about right.
He's 2 for 2. Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
No, should do that. What we got 6 minutes left. Kansas City's up 13-7. Man, this game's going by pretty fast in my mind. So after halftime, we'll take a look at how these two teams got to where they are, why they're playing in the AFC Championship Game, and why we're hoping to have another thriller. I mean, after that super wildcard weekend, that stunk. And like, why are these teams in it? Divisional round has made it up for it. And we are in for some 2 thrilling games, hopefully. Rubber match on the NFC side. You know, 49ers and Rams, San Francisco, Los Angeles. They had a credible game to end the regular season. And the Rams are looking for redemption. Okay? They could have not, if they would, here's the thing. If Los Angeles would have beat San Francisco, held on to beat the 49ers, okay? New Orleans would have made the playoffs instead. So they're the only ones to blame for themselves to put them in this situation. And I'm trying to think if they would have shaken everything else up. The Saints would have played Tampa Bay in the opening round, I believe. Philadelphia would have played Dallas. And we still have had Arizona and Los Angeles. So,
he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to
comes down to a matter of inches.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the
second time. So Cincinnati's going to punt the ball away. They're still down by 6.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well.
Late in the second quarters. Can't see.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes.
Oh, look at that. Now Mahomes moves up and runs up and slides. Slides to the left. Slides to the right.
Gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes, complete. The tight end, Kelsey.
Oh, he breaks away.
Powerful stiff arm that frees him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a
Well, we got 3 minutes left in the
47.
first half. Mahomes goes to screen. Oh, it just got blown up at the line. That's a loss of 5. Yep, second 15. As time's ticking down in the first half. But that's okay for the Kansas City Chiefs.
So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up.
No, New England has the record for most consecutive AFC Championship Game appearances in a row because
and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
2011,
So now they operate back from their side
and
of the
from
field
2011
here, 2nd and long.
to 2018.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
That sounds about right.
DJ Reader picks up his 2nd sack of the
They
afternoon.
were in 8
Well, Charles, this
straight
has been something to watch so far.
AFC
This is where you
Championship
really feel
games.
for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon,
winning
that's 5 sacks already.
4
So
of
you know
those.
he's got to be saying, can we get some more
5
guys
of
in here to
those.
block, please?
They
Because
were
if
5
we
and 3 in that
we're going to need
time
another
span.
quarterback.
Oh,
And we've
2-minute
hit the
warning.
2-minute
Hey.
mark in this first
Yeah,
half
'cause New
of
England.
action.
New England, 2011. It was New England, Baltimore in 2011. Or New England. That was at.
We remind
At
you
New
that
England.
coming up
I don't
in
know why
2
they did
minutes
it that
time,
way.
we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and
Ooh,
analysis of the
man.
first
So
half
4th
of
down,
action.
timeout,
They'll go
Cincinnati.
down right around
So
the
yeah,
47
you had New
this
England,
time.
Baltimore,
Now
back-to-back
the
years.
Bengals gonna
Then
use
you
the first
had
of their timeouts. So as
Denver,
they
New
take it
England,
over,
New
we
England,
step aside.
New England, Indianapolis, Denver, New England again, New England, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh made it to the AFC Championship Game that year in 2016. Man, that
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for
doesn't ring a
Kansas
bell.
City.
And I know they beat the living crap out of them, just like how
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines.
Atlanta beat the crap out of Green Bay in that championship game.
Cincinnati now ready to take
Then
the
you had New
field.
England, Jacksonville. I
The
remember
crowd
that.
maybe
Jacksonville
losing just a little
had
bit
that.
of the
And
edge
then
after back-to-back punts.
2018 was the
They
last
want some
time
big
the
plays.
Patriots
They
made it to
wanna
the
see some offense.
championship
They wanna
game,
see somebody
and they
break away,
played
whether
Kansas
it's
City.
through the air or on the ground.
And this
Now
is the
it'll be
4th
interesting to
straight
see
year
what the
it's going
patience
to be
is on
in
both
Kansas
sides.
City.
Each head coach,
I
can you
don't
hang in there
know
and not
if
try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Good starting field position for them here as they come up first.
Yeah,
and
even when
10
Buffalo
at the 41-yard line.
went to 4 straight Super Bowls, they didn't have. It wasn't in Buffalo all 4 years.
Being chased out left.
So
And Burrow gonna
this
slide
is
to
going
the
the first
ground
time
as
where the
he
championship
does
game's
pick
in
up
the same city
first
for
down.
4 straight
Well, he did a nice
years.
job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
First
And
down
like I
now,
said
but that
earlier,
clock rolling.
Kansas City is 2-2 in championship games. Cincinnati
Now
is
it's
2-0.
That's taken in by Higgins. 7 yards the pick up there.
Cincinnati trying to get on the board just before halftime. See how the first half ends. Go take my little break. Be right back after halftime, and we'll look at how we got to where we're at.
Able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now the Bengals urging everybody
Okay,
to
you
get
have
back
time.
to the
Why
line
didn't you
of
call timeout
scrimmage.
sooner?
The Bengals going to use
like
the
time
second
run
of
out.
their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Second down and 3.
We got one timeout, 1 minute and 1 second left in the first half.
Burrow.
They got the first down, but they got hurry up, hurry up.
Good throw, good catch.
You
but I
wouldn't be
really like
huddling.
the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders.
You'd be hurry up
Hard to stick with
offense.
them for that long.
And if they spike it, I'm going to
Better
be so
against man
mad.
than zone or
Better against
This is the one
man
thing I hate
because
about
then you're
men,
running
and
away
I've said
from
this all year
someone,
long,
and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
is that it's unrealistic when the hurry up. Oh, here comes the blitz. Had deflected.
That one tipped and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. That's second down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass here now is
they gotta go 38 yards to get that touchdown.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow.
Ooh, toe tapping.
T. Higgins. And he'll go out of
28 seconds, first and 10 at the 14.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense. He finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction,
don't throw across your body.
For them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Well, that's a catch. You got two toes in. And that was a thing also in that at the end of the Buffalo Kansas City game. Travis Kelce catches the game winner.
Inside the red zone here.
They'll have to call timeout.
This goes out wide from Mixon.
They had to quickly review it to make sure he got 2 feet in and had secured the ball. And everyone can't say it's like, no, they won. And they said, yeah, that's a catch, and referees walked off the field, and that's the game. It would have been incredible if they're like, after further review, the receiver did not contain possession of the ball while going to the ground. Second down. I mean, Kansas City still. And he's going to get sacked, and that's going to be the end of the half.
Back at the 16-yard line. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for Cincinnati. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they too were able to take advantage of a soft secondary, as both of these two teams really threw the ball at will in that first half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. And this will not be returned.
Cincinnati gets the ball first too. That's a plus for them. So after they had blown that opportunity at the end of the first half, they get a chance to come out right away.
Although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance,
I guess we'll start with Cincinnati because they're the more improbable surprise team. How did Cincinnati make it to the AFC Championship Game? I mean, it started off with week 1. Well, Cincinnati drafted Jamar Chase. They drafted Joe Burrow was coming back off of ACL injury. They had, second year team. They went from worse. Worse in the league.
Tough day, tough
But
sledding right there. And
this is how the season went.
Not a whole lot of room to ramble
That's right. They started the season at home, hosting the Minnesota Vikings. And if memory serves me correctly, they jumped out to an early lead. And Minnesota was fighting their way back. Yeah, it was 14-7 at half. And it was 21-14 at the end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter, the Vikings end up tying the game, 24-24, and forcing overtime. But oh, that's right. Cincinnati won the game at the end of overtime. 27-24. They jumped up. Boom. Start the season on a winning note. On a good note. Then they had to Chicago, and they didn't really fall flat. But they came up short, losing to Chicago 2017. But that didn't stop them. They go to Pittsburgh, taking on their AFC North rivals in the Steelers, a team that Big Ben and company has tortured. Big Ben went to the University of Miami, Ohio. Was he the Warhawks or whatever? He went to a college in Ohio, gets drafted by Pittsburgh, and he has tortured both those Ohio teams. But this time around, Cincinnati just put a beating on them and took care of business. And I'm like, just you telling a buddy that, hey, Cincinnati's got this. Cincinnati's going to go and beat Pittsburgh. Just you wait and see. Pittsburgh's been on the downswing. Even though they made playoffs and all that, they're just beat up. But anyways, then, hosting Jacksonville on a Sunday night, or not Sunday, Thursday night game, and just eked one out. Eked one out at the last second, winning 24-21 to, what are they named? 3-1. Then they hosted my Green Bay Packers. And boy, oh boy, no one wanted to win that game. There was 4, or was it 5? I forget. Missed field goal attempts. I think it was 5 consecutive field goals that were missed. Because Crosby missed 3. McFadden, or whatever their kicker's name is. I'm sorry. He missed twice, and since that, I think he's been nearly perfect. But Green Bay ended up winning, which meant absolutely nothing in the long run. And yeah. Then they were 3-2. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3-2. Then they took on the last NFC North opponent, the Detroit Lions, and they just beat the living crap out of the Lions. Poor Lions. Then another benchmark. They went to Baltimore, beat the living crap out of Baltimore. But then they played the New York Jets on Halloween. And a little unknown quarterback named Mike White outperformed Joe Burrow by throwing 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, and beating the Bengals, giving the Bengals their 3rd loss of the season, making them 5-3 of the year. And Cincinnati was in first place in the AFC at that point. Not like it meant me getting at that part of the season. And then Cleveland put a beating on Cincinnati, and they dropped 5-4. But then they had to Las Vegas. They turned things around. They showed the Raiders who's boss. They win, get back on the winning ways. Then they hosted Pittsburgh, beat the living crap out Pittsburgh, 41-10. Then beginning of December.
run with Mixon. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5.
Yeah, they were 7-4 heading into the end of the start of December. They had out west. No, that was in Cincinnati. And the Chargers come down. They beat Cincinnati. They go 7-5. San Francisco comes to town. San Francisco beats Cincinnati in overtime. 7-6. But then they get on a roll. They head to Denver, beat Denver. They host Baltimore, same thing they did last time we played Baltimore. Beat them. Oh, that's overthrown. And then week 17, a thriller in Cincinnati. Cincinnati gets the win over Kansas City, wins the AFC North, locking themselves in the fourth seed, more or less. They had a chance to win the #1 seed, but it all came down if Tennessee would win. Because Kansas City would have to lose back-to-back games, I think. Would have to lose. Tennessee would have to lose. They would have to win. And something else would happen. But didn't matter. They locked themselves, guaranteed the 4th seed. And then they rested week 18. Cleveland beat them. Boom. Okay. Super wild card weekend. They hosted Las Vegas. And we all know how that went. Las Vegas had a chance at the end to tie it, but Cincinnati intercepted to win their first game in 31 years. First postseason game, 31 years.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Oh boy.
Deep shot here for Hardman.
Oh. And then
interception, but it's
who day, Cincinnati's just going crazy on how they won. They won. They finally won a game and they're just happy. Playing their first divisional game since 1990, I think they said. And then they went to Tennessee. They haven't won a road playoff game ever. And how exactly did that game go? Cincinnati jumped out to a 6-point lead. That's right. They kicked 2 field goals in the first quarter. Tennessee, they got a touchdown. There's an offside penalty or something offsides on Cincinnati. And Tennessee elected to, we'll go for 2 then, because the ball will be at the 1. It's like, no, don't do that. Just kick the extra point, take the 1-point lead. No.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd.
And Cincinnati stopped them. So we're tied 6-6. Oh, intercepted! Touchdown, Cincinnati!
It's a pick 6 for Bengals team.
It goes without saying, but
and then just before halftime, Cincinnati took a 3-point lead, 9-6. Okay. And early in the 3rd quarter, Cincinnati gets a touchdown. Goes up 16-6. Okay. Then under 2 minutes left in the 3rd, Tennessee kicks a field goal, and just before the end of the 3rd quarter, boom, just like that, 16-16. And Tennessee had the ball. Tannehill throws an interception that, in my opinion, wasn't Tannehill's fault. And ball gets McPherson, that sounds better.
So the defense creating some points.
Cincinnati gets the ball, they move into field goal range and kick a 52-yarder to win. And here we are, AFC Championship Game. Now Kansas City on the flip side. We all know Kansas City, got embarrassed in the Super Bowl. They just want to hang their heads. Heh. That's the funny thing. All 4 teams left played Green Bay this year.
So they'll get another shot on offense
and only 1 team beat them in the regular season.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return.
But anyway,
Shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good
Kansas City, you know, AFC high up there. Like Cincinnati, no one saw Cincinnati going from worst to first in the AFC North. No one saw them. They didn't know how would they rebound and so forth. Then now you have Kansas City. You know, are they gonna get Super Bowl hangover? Are they gonna, you know, regress? Are they just gonna be just as good? Well, Kansas City's kind of turned into the New England Patriots from the last 10 years, where, you know, even if they lost in the Super Bowl, they're back. They don't have that hangover. So they start the season hosting Cleveland. All the experts had Cleveland high on their list. Like, Cleveland's going to make it to the Super Bowl, they're going to make it to the championship game, this and that, they're going to win North, AFC North. This is Cleveland's year. And, you know, they had to, they played, I don't want to say dirty, but they played extra hard against Kansas City in that Week 1 game. They took everything in the kitchen sink because, you know, they remember what happened in the playoffs. Kansas City knocked the Browns out of the playoffs last year, and they wanted to get that tiebreaker, and nope. Kansas City hung on to him. But then Kansas City goes to Baltimore. Baltimore forces a fumble on Kansas City late in that game. Turns into 8 points, actually, I do believe. Like, one of the only times that going for 2 at the end actually worked out in Baltimore's favor. And boom, Kansas City's 1-1. Then they go back home, they host the LA Chargers, and the Chargers just ramsack the Chiefs and just shock them. Kansas City's down 1-2 in the standings. Okay, so Kansas City heads out east, takes on Philadelphia and beats the crap out of them. Then Buffalo came to town, and Buffalo took it to the Chiefs, unlike what we just saw moments ago. And, you know, boom, Chiefs are
So possession goes over
the
here.
Chiefs are 2-3.
And
And they go to Washington, beat Washington, they're 3-3. Then Tennessee came down, and now it's their most embarrassing loss all year. Kansas City, 27-3 against Kansas City, and they're what, 3-4 to start the season. First 7 weeks, 3-4. But then they host the New York Giants and just squeeze by the Giants. Then they host Green Bay, who did not have Aaron Rodgers at the time, and they survived that game too, in my opinion. They were dominating the game, and let's be honest, if Green Bay had Aaron Rodgers, how Kansas City was playing at the time, they still haven't found their stride yet. Green Bay would have won that game, but that's ifs and buts for candy nuts. Okay? In the end, it doesn't really matter. So that's 2 in a row. They're back on the plus side with wins. And then they easily beat the Raiders. They easily beat the Cowboys. They easily beat the Broncos. They easily beat the Raiders again. They had to force overtime, or overtime was forced against the Chargers, and they snuck out that one. And then they took on the Steelers. Week 16. Boom! Beat the living crap out of them. So Kansas City was 3-4. And then they rattled off 8 straight wins. And just as that winning streak was getting longer and longer, the team was getting better and better. Then they bumped into Cincinnati. Cincinnati gave them a little hiccup and more or less cost Kansas City the number 1 seed. Because just imagine if Kansas City would beat Cincinnati and got the number 1 seed, and the AFC North was still up for grabs. Up for grabs in I think, because if Cincinnati would have lost that, it would have been 9.
I love the way he's finishing
9-8.
those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And Pittsburgh
The last
at
run
9-7-1.
now second and 4.
If Cincinnati did not try to play the win Week 18 against Cleveland, who knows how that would have went. If they would have lost to Kansas City and lost to Cleveland, Pittsburgh would have won the AFC North. It would have been what, 9-8.
But he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had
Instead.
on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
I don't know. Then Indianapolis might have made the playoffs, and Miami might have made the playoffs. I don't know who would have made the playoffs then.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
Cincinnati could have missed the playoffs if they did not beat Cincinnati. If they did not beat Kansas City.
But not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big play that time through the air.
But then, Kansas City lost their game to Cincinnati. They went to Denver, eked one out to clinch the number 2 seed, so they would have to host Pittsburgh in Super Wildcard Weekend, beat the living crap out of them. And then, like I said, just more or less moments ago, in a thriller, the best game of the weekend by far. And I think you hear that so many times when it's an offensive game.
And this is caught.
And Kansas City survived. Forced overtime, win the coin toss, and marched on the field and got a touchdown to win. So there you go. That's how these two teams got here.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
And now
to the air again, Burrow. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. A 3-yard touchdown pass.
And Cincinnati's going up.
On those slants, everything happens so quickly.
Cincinnati is just an extra point away.
In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal.
Is an extra point away from going up by 8 late here in the third.
Got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and the lead is up to 8. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown.
If you were here, this would have prevented everything, but no, you were there instead. But plenty of time for Patrick Mahomes and company. Just have to wait and see. Hopkins. Oops. My bad. So, Kansas City will get the ball now.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick.
But if they get a touchdown, they will have to go for 2 to tie this. They don't have to, but.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard
So 24, 28, 28 yards and touchdown. Since 5 for 8, 35 yards and 0 touchdown. But he also thrown it a pick six. And Cincinnati has all the momentum, as you can see. The momentum meter on top of there.
Silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. 1st and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. Shrugs him off. And the stiff arm proved fruitful for a second, but the daylight quickly snuffed down. A gain of 3, second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes.
Woo! Kelsey incomplete.
Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long game or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes.
Just like that, Tyreek Hill.
He will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? Can't go with try and go with the quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Cincinnati still has the momentum, but
from the gun, it's Mahomes.
Oh, Mahomes has to move up. Oh, timeout.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
There's going to be a flag. I think Mahomes was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
Hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this
Illegal forward pass on the offense. No, decline it. Decline it, yeah.
Ouch. Could have been a game-tying touchdown. They'll have to hold on that at least for now.
Ouch in a big way. Like ripping the Band-Aid off there. Can they let the sting subside and come back and get it done?
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's second and long.
I forget about that.
Gonna throw.
Oh, nearly intercepted.
Marcus Robinson, the intended target on that one. But now it'll be third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly.
Big third down here for Kansas City.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And again, it's Mahomes.
What is he? Oh, he's decent.
Did he keep the feet in? Yes.
31 for 40 with 345 yards. Jeez.
With the kind of game he's had so far,
Mahomes is just throwing the ball. No wonder why.
For big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a first and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Mahomes to throw.
Ooh.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Cincinnati has more or less probably the coach of the year, the offensive rookie of the year. I mean, potentially offensive player of the year too, and Jamar Chase.
Running back Edwards-Helaire. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He finds Robinson, and he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And this probably be the last play of the quarter.
It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle.
I don't see Kansas City running another play. So Kansas City will start the fourth.
once again on that last play.
Start the fourth with the ball on Cincinnati's 28-yard line.
Off on your quarterback makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Have you ever really run one more play? Nope.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break.
Kansas City has a
You're watching
negative.
the NFL on EA
Did I say Kansas City had negative 40 yards of rushing? So Kansas City, they're in position to tie this game as the final quarter starts.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes.
Oh, wide open on the crossing route.
Kelsey. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 14.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now
just yet again. Then he's 3rd and 9.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you.
I'm hoping for a good game. That's all I want out of these two teams. Do I have a dog in the fight? No, obviously not.
To throw, it's Mahomes.
I think I did pick Kansas City to make it to the AFC Championship game.
Forced out to his left.
I did not expect to see Cincinnati get this far. But now, hey, I'm kind of rooting for Cincinnati. Nothing against, I really have nothing against Kansas City. I was really hoping they would win last year since, you know, freaking champ was buried. My team out. So I can tell you this, I ain't rooting for San Francisco. So they are going to go for it.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Mahomes got to have
wide open.
Touchdown.
And then I'll have to go for 2 to tie it.
Finding Tyreek Hill. And the Chiefs have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
All right,
so here.
A big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Mahomes will throw for it.
And he gets sacked.
And he's going to be sacked. They came after him. He couldn't get
away.
And this remains a 2-point game. And the failure to convert to tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was
he had people open.
Tie the game there. Kick an extra point. You're still down 1. What's the sense? I like.
So I mean, Kansas City, all they gotta do is get a field goal range. And he reads like,
now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. fielded just outside the goal line.
Oh, look at that. 30, 40. He's at the 50. He's gone. 45, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Who day Bungles at? Wow.
A big-time special teams play here in the fourth quarter to extend their lead.
And coaches preach it all the time. If you can score on special teams, your chances of winning the game really jump up in a big way. Now, I'll let our analytics friends quantify it and give us the exact numbers, but that's what coaches talk about all the time, that extra momentum, that extra bounce you get from a special team score.
I don't have any analytics friends. Those are your friends.
I'll claim them.
And McPherson on for the extra point.
And it is good.
And that makes it a 9-point game. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points.
Well, the question is, can Kansas State do the same?
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
He takes out. He's at the
from a couple yards
20
deep,
and
bring
nope.
it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
And don't get me started on special teams. You'll hear me complain about special teams a lot. Anything in the AFC Championship Game simulation.
Sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Who's that highlighted? That's Hill. Yeah.
Drop to throw. That one
I mean, all the momentum's on Cincinnati's favor.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. From the 29, Mahomes.
Rolls out, throws it.
Man open is Robinson.
Is he out of bounds? There's another illegal. Yeah, illegal. It's just then lost down. And the only time touching the ball while out of bounds is a good thing is on the kickoff, because then the ball's ruled out of bounds and the ball is placed at the 40.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop them here on 3rd down. Working from the gun.
Kelsey.
Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelsey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him.
I'm sure Joe Burrow would love to be smoking one of those big old stogies if they would win the AFC Championship game, going to the Super Bowl for the first time in 34 years.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Now a swing pass. It's
Edwards-Helaire, okay. I always forget how his name is. He's got 3 names. And then you gotta think about the teams that lost this weekend. On the AFC side, Tennessee, where they go from here? You know, Derrick Henry, he missed over half the season, and they still found ways to win.
and pass protects as well.
Except the one time they need to win the most. Oh, there's Kelsey's at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! No, you just kick the extra point this time. You don't go for 2. Wow, you tight end. So you kick the extra point, you're down by 2. Because going for 2 now makes no sense. Because Cincinnati kicks a field goal, even if you went for 2, they're up by 4. So, and momentum is slowly shifting back in KC's favor.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
But like I was saying, you got to think about the teams that lost this weekend. Where does Tennessee go from here? Where does Buffalo go from here? I mean, this is twice now that Kansas City has ended Buffalo's playoff run. Last year in the championship game, this year divisional round, and you know, unfortunately, it's been both in Kansas City. Okay, so the thing, Buffalo, like on Buffalo's side, they need to win the East. They need to win. They need to finish win the AFC regular season. Get that home field advantage. Because I don't think anyone really wants to go to Buffalo in the middle of winter. Kansas City, it can get a little chilly out too, but I mean, Buffalo is worse. If you get that lake effect snow off Fury, you could have, you know, a couple feet of snow in a game. Sub-zero temperatures potentially. I mean, you know. And then Tennessee, you know, Derrick Henry, he's gonna be healthy next year right away. But quarterback, it really comes up. You have the wide receivers with Julio Jones and A.J. Brown. You have the running back at Derrick Henry, but the question is, you have the right quarterback. Is Tannehill the answer at quarterback? And it's a yes and no type thing, you know? You saw that he's the one that cost him the game in the divisional rounds at Cincinnati. Is there any quarterbacks out there that would be 10 times better than Tannehill? So, I mean, where does Buffalo go from here? Because, I mean, Buffalo, in my opinion, had a little disappointing season compared to last year. You know, yes, they won the East again, but they fit, what weren't they, 10-7? 11-6? They hadn't been 11-6 because they were ahead of Cincinnati. But I mean, in my opinion, Buffalo could have finished higher. Oh, that was Burrow! Can't afford to take a sack right now.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
8-20 and counting. Big second down. Second and 21.
Another try after the first down sack.
And he almost gets the yardage back, but it's third and long, 3rd and 12. That's fine. Cincinnati just needs to take time off that clock.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Oh wait, team's quarterback is immune to pressure.
On 3rd down, Burrow.
And short! Does Cincinnati go for it? Does Cincinnati go for it? 4th and 2.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down. So you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guys,
does
like
the
you
computer
said,
say Cincinnati? Go for it.
Kept them short of the marker.
Because, I mean, if Kansas City gets the ball back, all they got to do is get a field goal range. They're going to punt.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on for the 5th time here today.
Snap, punts away, and
He
it's
deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one
out
away.
around the 6-9-9-yard line. So 7-17 left in the game. Down by 2.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back.
Tyreek Hill, 11 receptions, 103 yards, and
that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance if they want to be aggressive. Try and maybe get a safety
Kansas City
out of this whole
needs
thing.
to, well, if they want a touchdown, they got to go 91 yards.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to
he lose yards. He used, just one. It looked like he lost 3 in my mind. So we know run the ball isn't the answer for Kansas City. You're just racing clock.
Totally stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Mahomes now to throw.
See it better.
And
Yard shy, 30 inches.
Yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Clock is ticking, though. Clock is ticking away. A little over 6 minutes. Is the again field goal range. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. It's a handoff, no play action. Mahomes up the middle, wide open.
That's complete to Robinson. And they're going to get this beyond the
51 pass attempts, almost 500 yards, 497.
Here we are in the 4th quarter, partner. We're watching drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes.
Oh, and he goes down, he fumbles it, he loses it.
He lost the football, but it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back.
Loss of 13. Clock is ticking. It's going to be under 5 minutes.
To get that football back, because trailing here in the 2nd half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Okay. Ball's at the 20-yard line. 450 and counting.
From the gun, it's Mahomes.
And he hits.
And Hill with it over the middle. It'll be a pickup of 15.
3rd and 8. 3rd and reasonable in my mind for Kansas City. The question becomes if they don't pick up the first down.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a
If
throw.
they don't pick up the first down, just Kansas City go for it with all 3 timeouts. It's questionable. They gotta get to Cincinnati's 49.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd.
And there is a flag though.
He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to be
But
taken
what's the
down
penalty?
with a marker on
Holding
the field.
on
So
the
let's see about the
offense.
call.
So is it going to be 4th and short?
So instead of giving them another 3rd down,
Oh,
That's smart football, right?
I would have accepted that penalty because
Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back.
because now, you know what, Kansas City, go for it. Kansas City should go for it, and they are.
Andy Reid, some say always unpredictable, and here he says we're going for it on 4th down.
It's a pitch.
Here we go with
And nowhere.
And this is going to be nowhere close.
But that's the other thing. Cincinnati's rush defense has held and has stopped Kansas City all game. So turnover on down, but Cincinnati gets.
Second time this game they've given it up on fourth down. They're now 1 for 3.
I'm not a big fan of that pitch play because of what you just saw easily happen.
The defense a lot of credit though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have
and I just run it up the middle.
And ready to go, and you think are going to be successful.
I'm more a believer of run the ball up the middle, or fake up the middle and pitch out, or QB sneak, this and that. That's just me. And now with 4 minutes left in the game, all 3 timeouts, Cincinnati just more or less need. Oh, look at that. Question is, when will Kansas City start using timeouts? I think not until 2-1 after 2-1.
At the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line is really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it.
Another handoff.
If you're running back,
a lot of room to move, but
those big fellas have a little vision.
3rd and 4.
Some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball.
Empty backfield, 5 wide.
They're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
First down, and he stays in bounds. That's going to take us down to a 2-minute warning, unless Kansas City goes timeout, which I don't think they will. And so here's the thing. They can run. Kansas City timeout. Kick a field goal. Take a 5-point lead.
Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
No, they're not going to snap it. No, they did. They did.
Gonna give this to Mixon.
They didn't have to. They did not have to snap the ball. So that saves Kansas City a timeout. If Cincinnati can't pick up a first down.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Back to Mixon.
And he is stopped way down the line of scrimmage. Timeout. So now it's 3rd down. It's 3rd down instead of 2nd down. 3rd and 13.
As they call the timeout defensively.
Cincinnati just, they could have went to 2-minute warning. I mean, in real life, that was what would happen.
2 running plays go backwards. So what's the call on 3rd and 13 now?
So
from the gun to give to Mixon.
Stop, timeout. So quick before this game gets down to the nitty-gritty to the end. Prediction-wise, my divisional games, I went 1 for 1. I picked Tennessee, they lost. I picked Kansas City, they won. Now we have Cincinnati at Kansas City. And I'll take either team, but I'm going to lean towards and pick Cincinnati just because of the underdog.
McPherson's kick is
good. So Cincinnati takes a 5-point lead. So with 1 timeout left. About what? A minute 46 left in the game.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know.
But 1 turnover, game's over. Failed to convert on 4th down, game is over. And Kansas City needs to hang on to that timeout. At least until under a minute.
Here's McPherson now to send it away.
It looks like it's going to be returnable. Nope. They're going to need it. Smart move.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Patrick Mahomes in the offense.
43 for 53, 520 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. That's unrealistic, unbelievable. To some extent. It's unbelievable, but yet believable. Touchdown. Well, if they get a touchdown, they would have to go for 2.
Mahomes.
Plenty of time. Throws it down the field deep. And no. Didn't have to go with the home run ball right away, you know? He had it. But he had to stop.
These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
And that's the thing, Kansas has those speedy receivers. And like we saw with Tyreek Hill in the divisional game, catch and run.
That allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mahomes.
You go home run ball again. And this time he's got him. He doesn't have to take, they don't take a timeout. They can just walk down the field. They can let the 30 seconds run off. That'll take them down to about 50 seconds left in the game. And it's 1st and 10 at the 16.
Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game.
Oh, and just out of Kelsey's reach, I should say.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale.
So 59 seconds. Can't say one timeout. They can do a little short play. They can still get a first down, which I would focus on more.
Here's Mahomes.
Is he in? Touchdown, Kansas City! They'll have to take a look. They have to go to the booth. They will go to the booth to make sure he had both feet in and caught it.
You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
We'll see. It's a booth review.
All touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it.
There's the catch. Okay.
They're taking a peek at
catch. That's a touchdown. It's a touchdown.
Call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the
if they overturn this, they'll
down
ride.
in bounds. That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Yeah. Now they gotta go for 2 again because they got Cincinnati. Cincinnati could tie with a. Here we go.
Extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. Back to throw, Mahomes.
And he's not gonna get it. Oh, he got away. But Tyreek Hill short, so Cincinnati can win the game with a field goal. They have all 3 timeouts. And we saw what happened. We saw what happened earlier. Cincinnati took a kickoff back for a touchdown.
For 2 there, right? Up 1. You want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now
they defense down Mahomes gets away from the sack, but he threw it to the wrong guy in my mind. 55 seconds. Wow. I don't know why they need a huddle. Here's the route and the juke. About 2 yards deep. He's at the 10. The 15. 16 should took the knee. Should have left the ball. Hit the end zone. Would have had Plus 9 then. Instead, they're minus 9, how I look at it. If you take the ball out of the end zone and don't get to the 25, then that's a negative net return. And if you get past 25 and you take it out of the end zone, that's a plus. Plus on the net return. 51 seconds.
Here's Burrow.
Overthrows his guy.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And as long as no. Having all 3 timeouts still is in their advantage, but as soon as they use one and it's under 40 seconds, game is over if they turn the ball over then. And he's going to get set. He fumbles it! Cincinnati has called timeout, which they do. Third and 24 at their own 3. Wow.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Now Burrow.
He gets rid of it. 10, 15, 20. Still have to call another timeout though. 4th and 3, games on the line right here.
The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
But yet, here's the issue with Cincinnati. They have no offensive line. Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times. And if Kansas City gets any pressure on Joe Burrow, boom, game's over the next week.
Here we go. It's Burrow.
Oh, he gets it.
That's complete to Chase. And they will get the conversion on
they're gonna hurry up and spike it.
Alive, but time not
yeah, let's celebrate. 21, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. And now the clock stops because, you know what, the clock's still running.
And Burrow's saying, let's go, let's go. Now
look how much time ran off the clock. Compared to, I mean, this is the last play. Unless it goes out of bounds. This is the last play of the game. Unless they get the ball along the sideline. And I highly doubt it. Because they would have to get to like the 40-yard line. Or 35. No, that's it. Game's over. Cincinnati loses. And 32-31. Wow. Oh yeah, you're mad. Because you poorly timed your timeouts. And Madden doesn't let you hurry up and spike it. I don't know why not. So,
down to the last play, we're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly.
According to this, the man says Kansas City's going to their 3rd straight Super Bowl. There you have it. 32-31, Kansas City wins. Mahomes just almost 600-yard passing yard right. So there you go. Man saying Kansas City's going to win. I say otherwise. Only time will tell. Thanks for watching. Make sure you tune in to the NFC Championship Game. And I'll, talk about more NFC on that side. And otherwise, I will. So here's the thing. When it comes to... what's with my hat? Forget my hat. Forget. Super Bowl. I plan on streaming it live on Twitch on Thursday, February 10th. So you can either join me live on twitch.tv at the King R, or you'll have to wait until it uploads on YouTube. So thanks for watching, and until next time, Adios, muchachos.